to Pete and Hannah's Watch List. I'm your host, Pete Mitchell, and we're here today for We Interrupt Irregular Programming, our TV podcast. On today's show, we're going to review a new Apple TV show. I know, I'm in the bag for Apple, but I just love their content. It's called Dark Matter, starring Joel Edgerton. We're also going to continue to look at The Veil, also The Sympathizer, all on today's show. And we'll also look at Sugar. But before we begin, let us tell the viewers and listeners what you should do. Like, follow, and subscribe to our channels. Hit the notification button and you'll get great content like this one. Big week on the channel, Hannah's birthday week. So, tomorrow, what's next? Special birthday edition for Hannah. Then we're going to do movie news, Forrest Gump on AFI Top 100, and then this Sunday we're doing a special year of Hannah's birth, the year 2000 movie draft. Bonnie and Denny will be along, so should be some fun and frivolity there. Let us get on today's show, and we're going to start with Dark Matter, which is just started on Apple TV Plus. The first 2 episodes have dropped. Now, this stars Joel Edgerton. He was in Zero Dark 30. Also stars Jennifer Connelly, Top Gun Maverick. Also Elisa Braga, who was in Hypnotic, one of my favourite movies from last year. Created by Blake Crouch, which is based on his novel. He's also done Good Behaviour, Wayward Pines. We follow the Dessons. It seems like an idyllic life. The mother, son, husband, just living their life in Chicago. Driving down the street, son nearly crashes the car. Just usual teenage drama. He gets a call from a friend, Joel Edgerton's friend, that he's won an award. It's a Pavia Award, and he gets a big bonus. Jason Dessen, which is played by Joel Edgerton, he plays a professor of just a local college. Danielle Dessen, his wife, she owns an art gallery. Next, we find Jason in a strange locker, writing notes regarding his day. He explains to Daniela that while he's not going to go celebrate with his mates, he'd rather spend time with the family. But she says, no, you go and celebrate your friend's party. He moved it to around the corner for you, so go. So he goes. He has a good time with his mates. His mate offers him a job at San Francisco, but he turns it down. He says all the decisions he makes are for his family. So Jason starts walking home. He nearly gets hit by a car. Then he gets mugged. He gets taken in a car to a facility and gets given a shot. And it seems like the mugger sounds very like Jason. And it turns out there's 2 Jasons. One takes over Jason's life, and the other gets sent to another world where none of the things that happened in Jason's life happened in this one. So it turns out this guy has created this big box that he can live in and out of life. He's the CEO of this company. He decided to put himself in as a guinea pig for this. So it flips between both. You see the other Jason from the other world come and ingratiate with his life with Daniela. But then you see in the other world, the Jason that we followed from the start, he's like a fish out of water. He doesn't know where he is. He meets up with Daniela. They haven't had the life. They never got married. They never had a kid. She is a famous artist now. He's a CEO of a tech company. All these things are the life not taken, but all because he chose to follow his work and not have a kid with Daniela. And then you get multiple people chasing down Jason, and finally it ends with Daniela of this variety getting shot, and Jason gets taken away by the company that he founded and he's like co-CEO of. So that's the first episode of Dark Matter. Well, what can you say about this? It's you have to pay attention to it. Like it clips back and forward, and you really have to pay attention. I love Joel Edgerton. Like he's in just another Australian doing so well. I think you see where this show's going, that he's trying to get back his life from the other guy. But you don't know how many different situations these guys are in. Is it just the two of them? Or is it just, is there multiple? So we'll find that out in coming episodes. I'm really enjoying this so far. So, yeah, we'll keep reviewing this one. It's Dark Matter. It's on Apple TV+. I think the episodes drop Wednesday. So, yeah. Next is Sugar. Well, episodes drop Friday. There's only one more episode to go, I think. We start in a weird room with a typewriter where Ruby and Miller, they're like in a mirror. And then another Ruby and Miller receive a message that the other Ruby is typing. And then Ruby says to Miller, don't hurt Sugar. Go get him, but don't hurt him. Sugar then talks to Melanie, and Melanie wants answers. But Sugar really can't give her any answers. The Seagulls are at a funeral of Daniel, and Jonathan tells Bernie he's deeply sorry for David's loss. He still thinks that Olivia has been taken because she would have turned up to the funeral. They have grave fears for what Olivia's gone through. Then we fast forward, Olivia's in a box and is discovered with a guy with gloves. Miller goes to confront Sugar and to bring him in, and Sugar tries to tell Melanie his secret. His secret being that he's an alien, which Melanie thinks that he's a spy. Henry thought the man that helped Sugar, he gets taken for helping Sugar. So Sugar finds out by going to Ruby, that they're all there, including Henry, that they're getting moved off the planet and going back to their home. Can you believe this? This is where it's gone. Like, seriously, I can't believe it's aliens. I did not see that coming. The reason why they're moving off the planet is because the humans have found out, and so they're like blackmailing them, and especially the guys that are running this sex ring, sex slave sort of ring. Sugar tells Henry that he has killed people, so he's becoming human, and Henry warns him. Sugar now believes they are being blackmailed by the powerful humans, and that he needs to stop them. He needs to find out where Olivia is. He needs to get it back, and he needs to take down this ring. So Sugar goes to the place where he thinks that Olivia's been held. He's stopped by a security guard. It turns out the security guard is the son of a famous senator, and the son is the one that owns his house, and that's where Olivia's been held. Sugar fights the senator's son, and the senator's son kills himself. He goes downstairs, Sugar, and he sees like all this torture paraphernalia, a sort of medical sort of situation going on and down there. And then he finds that there's a box underneath the stairs, and then Sugar says, "Olivia, is that you?" And so that's how the episode ends. Movies that they used to splice in: Sweet Smell of Success, starring Tony Curtis and Burt Lancaster, and Kiss Me Deadly. So yeah, it just continues the run of the shows. Didn't think that this show was like one more episode to go. Didn't think it was going to go this way. Yeah, love Colin Farrell. I don't think I really buy the alien stuff. But yeah, yeah. Some people that I know have switched off and not big fans of like the Apple TV stuff. But yeah, I'm in now, so we'll go for one more week. The next show we're going to talk about is The Veil, which is currently streaming on Disney Plus in Australia, Hulu and FX in the States. After last week, the special forces arrive in the camp where the Imogen leaves with Adia, and they're looking for blood, and they test Adia's blood, but it turns out that she's not the ISIS leader that they were looking for. But Imogen still believes. She works hard to reunite Adia with her daughter. The men charged with moving the core from the bomb have been selected and giving them instructions, so they know they're going to die. And everyone is telling Imogen to let it go, but she knows there's something seriously going on in here, and she thinks that Aldelia is involved heavily. Until it's found that the IGO workers are dead, the camp there was, no one believed Imogen. Everyone, including Josh Charles's CIA character, the French intelligence, all didn't believe that Imogen, an MI6 agent, knew what she was talking about. Imogen fakes a marriage proposal in a restaurant to prove that she's a shapeshifter to Malik, just like Aldea. They sleep together, knowing that she's bugged after this thing. She takes a call from Aldea and sets up. She avoids surveillance and visits Jim Morrison's grave. That's where she said to meet Aldea. And Aldea says, I'm going to show you a grave. And so she goes to her grave and she tells a story about her grandfather. It's her grandfather's grave. And she pulls a gun on Imogen. And she forces Imogen to tell the story why she's helping Aldea. And she gives us a sob story. And Imogen tells about her father getting assassinated. Her father was a diplomat, but also a spy. And so Aldea now believes that Imogen's trying to help her, but we know that Imogen is not. She thinks that Aldea is the ISIS agent. Imogen communicates with the CIA. It all leads to we know there's going to be a bomb planted somewhere in Europe or somewhere in the US, and it turns out the last bit of this episode that the bomb is going to go on a ship that's doing a goodwill mission to the US. And it seemed like it's Soviet sort of a ship, in that Iron Curtain sort of in rain. So yeah, the Russians behind it. Surprise, surprise. So yeah, that's the Veil. Where do we think this is going? Yeah, I think it's Imogen, Aldea just double crossing each other. We saw there's so many people involved here. You've got French intelligence, you've got American intelligence, you've got the British intelligence, you've got whoever Aldea's working for. It has something to do with her family. And Imogen still is rocking the British accent. She dropped it for a little bit in the fake marriage proposal. She was dropping the American accent. I just don't know how to feel about Elizabeth Moss doing an English accent, but we'll stick with it for now. Dana Reed directs this again. She's a great Australian. Used to work on Full Frontal and stuff like that. So yeah, that is it for The Veil. The last show we are looking at today is The Sympathizer. A couple episodes to go. I think it's got 2 episodes to go. So after Captain getting blown up on the set of Hamlet, he wakes up in the hospital and he's struggling to retell the story because he's under immense pressure from the Commandant, and so he's jumbling the story up this whole episode. He is given a gift, and from the gift he remembers a schoolyard fight where he met his friends, and they called themselves the Three Musketeers. When they met their friends, he finds a head in the jungle, and so he's sort of going back to that story all the time. These guys become musketeers. He receives flowers from Sophia and the congressman, but no one really else has come other than his brother to the hospital. The studio offers the captain $3,000, but he negotiates $15,000, but he also wants an apology from Nikos. Claude tells him, you need to get back in the game. You need generals up to something. You need to go and find out what's going on. He's invited to a show. He's got this little ticket to a show. But fast forward, it goes back, and he recalls where he's got the money, and he tries to give it to the wife of the major because he feels really bad for what he did to the major. But the wife goes, no, the general is up to something, and you should give the money to him to support the cause, because she knows that the major got killed not by a racist attack, but by the work that he was doing for the general, and she wants that work to succeed, where the general is going to take back South Vietnam. So that is where you are at here. He goes to the show, and it turns out that it's Lana, and she's a star. The general is not happy. He's opened a Vietnamese restaurant. He's trying to recruit people. He's got like a whole plan to take back South Vietnam. He's unhappy with the captain for like Lana's gone missing. Lana's now a singer in a nightclub. The captain's very jealous of her relationship with Jamie. He thinks he's gonna, you see sort of like a twinge between him and Lana. The brother stops it. He tries to then go over to Sophia's house, and it turns out the reporter is sleeping with Sophia, and Captain is really isolating himself here. Finally, you get Claude saying, "Hey mate, you need to focus here, because the general is doing something. The reporter is dodgy. You're telling secrets. The secrets are getting out. You need to focus." Lana thinks he's spying for the general. Lana's trying to stay away from the general. Him and the captain go on this journey, and he's struggling to tell the story back in getting interrogated. He's saying, I'm writing 60 pages a day. I'm getting interviewed 7 hours a day trying the story. And the commandant says, mate, you need to focus here, because we don't believe that you had a handler. We think that you are a sympathizer for the South Vietnamese. You've come back to this country, and there's no way that you're doing all this spy stuff over there. We think you're an American. So he then remembers, visioning the handler telling him to do stuff. He also gives a secret message to the handler that he's going to undermine the captain's plan, undermine the general's plan to take back South Vietnam. The captain and the general are driving through the backlots of LA, and they go to visit this place, and they're above, and it's all these volunteers getting trained by Bond to take back South Vietnam, and that's where the episode ends. It is starting to come together, this show. This is the first episode that wasn't directed by Park Chan-wook. It was a little bit different. The splicing of the story, where he was mixed up because of the head trauma from the bombing. It was a little bit different. Not much Robert Downey Jr. in the show. There was a little bit with Nikos, where he goes to get the apology, but he didn't really want the apology. He wanted to make sure that the Vietnamese was left in the movie. And, he had this alligator in the pool with Nicholas. All that he was trying to do was to make sure that those lines that he was feeding people were going to end up in this movie. So, that's where the episode ends. I still like the show. I think it's really good. I've heard some negative reports about it. But, I like this double cross, triple cross nature, and you don't know how it's going to end. Oh, I enjoy it. That is it for today's show. What a big week on the channel. Celebrating Hannah's birthday tomorrow on What's Next, the show where we help you figure out what's next. We're also going to review Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and I'm also going to take a look at Tarot. We've got movie news, and this week we're continuing our look at cinema experiences, and we're going to have a look at popcorn. Huge conversation started, that one. And then Forrest Gump, AFI Top 100, movie number 76. Should be a fun one. And then the draft, movies of the year 2000. Some real bangers of that year. And it should be interesting. 4 people drafting. All different taste. And one of the categories is the movie that you're going to choose to dedicate to Hannah. So that should be an interesting, get a little bit of fun there. That is it for today's show. Thanks everyone for watching. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe. If you have seen any of these shows, comment and let us know what your thoughts are. And if you have any theories and all that, share them with the channel. We'll see you tomorrow for What's Next, the show where we'll help you figure out for what's next. And until then, it's bye for now.